Yama bibia aha ma wakwaba edeba Cstv news at 24 esomre na so say sama etwegu omanmu omanhodo so no eyede ebedai mo se kase ne nsem no yenhwe de ebedi motitima ankasa sama ekase Ghana mampeni akwa akopie mu ewo United Kingdom eman ma wo hwe se eniama bia so betibi yana atoto na kwema fe so attorney general ere sawa ba betu edwasa wode nhema pa eba begu ekwem se ne be ya katanhwe ne proye ekoso ewo manyimu so no etu ebetwa na fe so sefoto bia etese wode efi ora ensem no anase ora eye edwuma enya asasika no wode ba bebu amachese oman so etimi akonenim we ne nsem ahodo a obete ewo kase mi so ameje pinende wie me de esom Midi ene mame ama bafua Sarah's Dream Jewelries Amsel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing KS Rafimes Co Limited Sile Sweet Tom Brown Amsel Block and Machinery and Block Manufacturing NAP Apartment Hotel Office Crystal Direct Test Shop Omono Muso Yasindewi Ede Kasio so Ede Ebeso Mayenda Yehosima Embra Afe mame sama obibia akwaba bio kase ubenye bi ahwe ewo ya be fidete ntai so Facebook no Cstv GH so na YouTube so Cstv GH to kwa like share face for wajen so eto asiye adoma na ewo ho no boss kenkan a chese eno no bibia ye de ebeto so no nsa na se weni ebe hu ebie ede amije so ene mame ama bafua na ya share no asia indrada eye opepo ne bosmeda na etosu edu ba ko wafimpinu ni eduonu ensiam ana Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama efri omayi emu ekopie mu ewo United Kingdom achese no onimpenifo ekwa akodi ehia na eye bibibia achese edoso wo betibi aka ho asem na ebia betimi aboa omayi kanko na openi ba kwa chese oye kasamafo ede ema abai eye Felix kwachi ofosu ana chese wochire nkrata tintia wade ababeto emontin ochirebo se eye omampeni ebeko Davos owia obeko eye Switzerland na fe so no wakwa akohwe anim perifo ebi akwa akodi enkomo ahwe ekwaya omaye so yesika so betimi abobra pa eye na fe so no so free eye so ofree eye Davos eye ihyemude no asia wasa ne imperifo ebenya inkita hudie na apem enti asie bia no so wane wo akọ na wo hu senia niema so ebetimi akọ ede afa Some can say edum jako impedifo ede sem ababeto monti a wochewu se wo hwe afimpinu eni edionu enum eyo pepo ne bosome akopem eye ebubu ne bosome no osi eja hwehwe ma chese eto oman Ghana amanfo adan ne omostos ahodo no ebeye se apopem enum ene afe ahanu ana afe so edu wo training enum 5,585 and I just for do na madan awostos ahodo etimi ehye na wo se no ehuri pa esanse wo hwe eye 2024 afimpinu ni eduonu anan de na just no na ewosro kakra na ebeye se elhamu chichemu edu Alhamin chichemu eduonu ebako 0.21% no was chemu aya afimpinu ni eduonu anan no na chese no aya opepem enum na fe so oha nu ni eduokron and so 5,590 7 nso na call ho na penimpa woda Ghana National Fire Service ano Daniela Mawusi into sapom nso de kokobo de ama wona chese won esisi adan se won hwe amamra na se emra chese wode aba se wo besi dan bia no wo se wode won krata eba na wo hwemu se dan a wesi no ebeboa eja hwehwe bi ntimi emba ewo ho na no na chese opani de kokobo de akwa mama forces so wusi de ya adaro mafankrata ehu ehia bia fabra se ne be ya obetimi aye hwehwemu de afa ho afe ma yanko attorney general akachi na wode atu edwa wo trebu sempenifo eden hwehwe mapa egu akwa wo pass ne be ya katanhwe ne proya ekoso ewo oman Ghana hanu se no etu betwa na wose emra sempenifo ede aba efa katanhwe ne proya mu no wose wo ba be miemu pa se ne be ya katanhwe ne proya so ebetwi etwa ewo oman Ghana hanu se afe so si efutuo bia etwa se yede ema Ghana ban no ewose yede ema no sene be ya dachi bi no enkofa oye ne bia enso embesom Ghana man
does not have such a direct connection to the economic performance of the country, but its contribution will be indirect. For instance, our department is in charge of the drafting of legislation. And so we take instructions from the MDAs, including the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, to refashion the laws of the country in a manner that will inure to the benefit of the people of this country, or that will ensure that economic performance, is enhanced. And so if you take the fiscal measures that have been introduced, all the bills were drafted by the Legislative Drafting Division. And then, of course, we always advise on how the bills can be structured in a manner that will inure to the benefit of the country. And so our contribution is limited to fashioning the laws and advising on governmental transactions, that have an impact on the economy. And then, of course, there is also the other aspect of it, which is the fact that every ministry, department, and agency is very much aware that now there cannot be any waste or wastage.
Okay.
All right. That transactions that are fraught with a lot of overpricing will be definitely vetted. So, for instance, if you bring a transaction to my office, okay, we used to just look at the dry, legal, aspects of the transaction, whether it complies with the laws of Ghana, the Constitution, statutes in force, the case law, and so on. But currently, we have taken an interest in the economics of the contracts, that I brought to the office. So, for instance, I would not approve a contractual transaction, for instance, that has any semblance to what happened in the drip case, where you had in excess of about 70%, inflation of prices. So we do check all of those aspects, and we advise the ministries, department, and agencies that, this could be problematic for you going down the line. And in some cases, if there's a need for me to brief His Excellency about a transaction and my concerns, I go to him directly and I talk to him, and then he'll call the minister or chief executive to order. So that is how, and he keeps. So the point is that we are avoiding waste.
Good.
And the finance minister keeps mentioning that all the time, to people at the finance ministry, and then sometimes in parliament, about the fact that Ayine is making an effort to ensure that there's no wastage.
Na Attorney General Dominic Ayine ekasa wiye trader or treble ese ohwe ora foto otese omobo eto watika omotimi agege no omo ba behwe sene be ya wodi sasika no ebeboa sene be ya nniema na se nniema tese betimi aboa ma oman so ebetimi enya nkan kodo so wodi sasika no ebeboa.
That was projected, from the over 2,000, cases.
417 cases.
Yeah, cases that were contained in the oral report. And it was a rough, back of the envelope estimate of what, is capable of being, collected. very soon in this year, I'm sure things, will start dripping into the government chest with respect to oral. The question whether we will be able to get exactly the 21 billion projected is one that I cannot answer with mathematical certainty at this point in time, all right? But I'm doing a great deal of work with local and foreign partners. On the local front, I have Economic and Organized Crime Office, the EOCO, and then NIB helping me. And then I also have a special investigations team that works directly to the Attorney General. That team is, a clandestine team, of investigators, very seasoned investigators who are working directly, to me. So very soon, things will, cash will start flowing into the public, this in kitty. So for instance, in respect of DRIP, I can say with certainty that we have been able to, with working with GRA, okay, we've been able to, establish that 22 million Ghana cedis of tax, was evaded as far as the DRIP transaction was concerned. So our initial estimate of the tax evaded was 38.7 million, right? But we do not have the power, right, to say, with exactitude that a tax has been evaded. So in July of last year, I wrote to the GRA for confirmation, right? Then the reason why I'm saying that I'm speaking with certainty with regard to the 22 million is because GRA just last week confirmed that figure. So it doesn't matter, and the company itself wrote a letter saying that they have, they were re-warehousing some of the items that were cleared, as exempt when they were not supposed to attract exemption. But I think that letter is of no consequence as far as the tax evasion is concerned, because what
na Attorney General de kasa eba ne wiye na wode etu edwa wo chirebu ese wo hwe eye drip monsense ma chese beto edwa no impedifo achese wo ye edwuma e wo ho no wose wo mu ba be mapa se ne be ya eye amra anase atentene ne so wode won ebe fa sa kwaye de so na wode atu edwa wo chirebu se nkrata bia chese wo behia na yetimi ahwehwe enyemum ansa de yetimi ebua wo fo no obetimi enya sankrata no na fe so no eye atentene ni bi so no yetimi ede ebusafo no
confirmed by all the invoices, okay, that they were overpaid by 2 million United States of American dollars. I will insist on that. I am considering either taking a civil action to recover or possibly bringing criminal prosecution, a criminal, prosecution against the company and its directors. All right, so on the tax front, I can make the evidence available to Ghanaians, and every person who looks at the evidence will, confirm that what I'm saying is not a threat. I'm just simply putting out the objective facts. So for instance, if I make available to you now the GRA letter confirming the 22 million, and I tell you that I'm going to collect it because that is my duty to make sure that, there's accountability. So, it should not be seen as a threat to the company, all right? I can take civil action to collect it. I can also decide to prosecute them for criminal.
Attorney General Sanswe Kasaye DF Sago.
na Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama esode atu edwa wochim se Ghana ban ehwe ni mpa se eye Singapore eye company bia chese wo ho ba besi adan ahodo ede ama asrako eye Ghana Police Service, Ghana Prison Service, and also Ghana National Fire Service and Ghana Armed Forces ene be ya wojibedi awodi so no ebetimi akọ enim na ubekaya wafimpinu ni eduonu enum Singapore penifo no ede betu edwase obehwe nimpa ese obetimi esi eye hostel ede ama University of Ghana ye 10,000 student hostel ede ama University of Ghana nenu ana stress wasan esan share ebose obehwe nimpa se obetimi esi adankra hodo ede ama asrako.
Government therefore remains committed to improving your accommodation Government, morale, and professionalism are inseparable concepts. Government therefore remains committed to improving your accommodation.
Ghana Armed Forces said my phone benya baby do ntiato na bambo.
Na woni se opepo ne bosumi da na beto so eduasa ba ko wa fimpinu ni eduenu ensia ana chese NPP amanyoko no amode omo presidential primaries no ebe hihye so ewo oman Ghana ha na penimpa na otu franka ede ama NPP amanyoko no ewo akwetia abato empeso ane so ye Solomon Kwame Asumedu ede nsema tuja wo trebu sa abato chese bekoso eyo opepo bosumi ebeto so eduasa ba ko no ohwe ni se asundwe mapa ebetibi akoso sabre.
Say, Obi Biara baby, Obi Longi to Biano, so you're Baumia, so you're Kenny Japan, so you're Brian. But some say, Nina, Nipabaco. Omi here, Cassaye, Omi here, any area. Young Pesa or Chnobino after December, January 31st. Party went to Bedlam. Your parent Kabum, now your Basia Hansua, Yansua, Kawa, Yakan. Another thing is, just last September, Yana, but I call a by lesson, and I got here 4 years. So I mean, the dominant in Columbiamba, and so in himself, Namitia City, you're very you're in human capacity, I also get to me.
Afe mayen free ayakwetia ne yenko ahafo mantem na penipa just wo esitufi note eno ewo ahafo mantem ye Hafiz Dauda ele nsama tuja wo chewu se obepie mu ewo eye esitufi note just pobi krom die basic school mu school dino atete apa sampa ye ne salenti wode adesre atumpenifu enemy se obetimi akowo ho emwa na omo KG blog no so ebetimi esi amomo se ne be ya adetre ni adesua so obetimi akonkan
Cherry and Omama DC Asotiye from KG blogger I say I'm person new disease. It's only sent DC Emma engineers no have access KG blog. More access here no more than assembly no assembly no edit and Yama Eguna old students edit to a say KG blog. I'm over chance and I'm more it's only sent said DC a year district no on the Irish society idea Adana community. DC Ashe community no and I said more 40 bags of cement. So I'm fine chassis in blocks. Now Yaka Bia so should Medina say yeah I was say oh yes or MNC catch a Bema structure and I said class group dog a week share community no boss obey free baby. Say what to say. And what to say, Nina, they won't say any so you have a shame price of baby. Yeah, teacher, you could be now, now, a quiet man.
Afe mayenjina nsenwe so na yen twayo hosima ye ba ye de dwedie mu sem ne dia kan so beso mo. Afe mayenza mo bibia akwa babio da so a ehwe ewia print breaker se wo CSTV so de edu so eye edwedie mu ensem na Ghana ban ya den hye mapa egu akwa mu se ne be obetiri aboa woni mpenfo aka wuti aboma chese wo ba besi adankra ahodo be se 5000 ede ama Ghana Armed Forces ejumekun.
Yes, actually I'm here because we have partnered with Eli Ghana to work on a housing project for the Ministry of Defense, and we're very happy to be here for the first time to hopefully finalize the completion of our agreement and to proceed with the investment. We are currently raising a lot of capital in order to make sure the development goes as planned. It's a sizable investment with a great number of housing, as you know, and we are going to comply with the conditions of the Ministry of Defense, of course. Well, we're looking to inject initially about 50 million equivalent USD, and of course that will be expanded according to certain milestone and phases which are required by the project. But basically we're here to make sure the project goes from initialization to completion and to provide all the necessary capital that's required.
We're now going into the proper discussions. We know it's about military housing, and as the government has indicated, they're using several approaches to handle the deficiencies that we have in terms of accommodation and other facilities, and this is one of such approaches. And so as they have arrived, from Monday serious discussions will commence and the details will be finalized, and I think in due course we'll come out to let the public know what the whole
na Ghana mampeni abedi chire eye Professor Jenana Opoku Ajiman enso de ansema tudwa wochim se ansa na NDC amanyoko ne eba abenwa no so no wo hye bo bebra a nyame yadoma se bo hye no betimi ediso na wo chire bu se wo de nhye mapa egu akwa mu se ne be ya obetimi ebudue nyuma na imebunu so etimi enya bi aye or the same way to Jawa branch so copy mu our national convention Ahmadiyya Muslim nation no war a year a free mountain or the same way at the to Eja.
Shared commitment to ethical leadership and national development, I want to single out the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, your exemplary contributions to agriculture especially. Last year, His Excellency the President assured the community of government support for establishing a multi-purpose poultry farm in Pomazi. I'm pleased to confirm that this is now being realized following engagements between the government and the Ahmadiyya community leadership. I applaud the cooperation, which will definitely yield good outcomes. We introduced a 24-hour economy policy to ensure continuity and productivity in key sectors. We implemented tax reforms to remove burdens on businesses and on families. Fiscal discipline has been reinforced, business confidence strengthened, and foundations for sustainable growth laid. The 2026 budget prioritizes increased expenditure on development and social protection. Our Big Push infrastructure program has been allocated 30.1 billion cedis to improve roads and connectivity, particularly in the northern regions, which are famed to house some of the most deplorable roads.
Afe mayen fro ho na yen ko obi man so na yen dire mu e wo Pakistan man emu some make us say dear they said to pay be it me ato amache say make us say obia anas our refuat some worry and che biano o matimi ato ananam ewo isiedo ye say yes ato pay no eto ye ewo edan bi ache say no ewo Islamabad ana chese na wo chese wo ho a wo jiweni ebia ndey sa ayemye anase sa to pali etimi ekobo wona wonso wetimi ato adananum ewo insiedo na mpenifo echiremo ni pansian so eka ho bia ndey so wetimi ato adananum ewo insiedo na yese wabra chese to paye netimi Tupa yenitimi ebo edain match say nipa bebre na tv praye no yese adan no etimi atete a ukohwe sene adan no aye kra na uhwa enye edan atwese esiwo no na utimi edi edanse say tupa yenitimi eto pa eya atwese nde ya yakase nipa bebre no so etimi ato anananum ewo ensiedo na afe so memenda chese etwe mu yi ana chese Iran mino amoye oye chire pa ameka say de nipa dodo na chese wo fe mu ato ananam ewo insiedo pedifo echire bu de nipa be se 116 na wato ananam ewo insiedo na emu 2600 ana chese ya che won akogu efiase na efa USA mino ekwa chese wopese wode mintimi ho asibi etiri eba ana no na so ma chese Iran mino so echirebu se omu enya de se wobe pene so de biara da ne sanitino oye chere no kwa na ekwaso a wo chebu se omanpenin Donald Trump se ekobali se Nima anase ne ya chese wo no so monthly ejaya ade se obetumi atoto paye kra de akọ US mu a chese Iran Parliament Speaker Mohammed Kaliba anade sansen way de ebetu edra Afe mayanko enije diemo ensem na unim said 9th All African Music Award no amode eshisha so ewo Lagos in Rada na Nigerian superstar Burna Boy ana fere my yemi alede salipu popi fino ane ni omaka omutimi eko asia mechiremu a Rema anachese utimi enya Artist of the Year na Best Male Artist in West Africa ana feso sansu enya African Artist in R&B ana ohwe Burna Boy so a ono so enya Album of the Year na Yemi Alade so enya Best Soundtrack in a movie achese ndey and so what they about to a mountain Busiafo asene yede kase eboaboa no nyina no yede ebesi ewa ha Sarah's Dream Jewelries Amsel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing KS Parfines Co Limited Rema Ocean Agency Nap Apartment Hotel na Feso Crystal Director Shop omo anamu so ya se yede kase ede ebeso mo Miss Midin ene mame ama bafwa Accra